from marketwizards.com and eminywizard.com, finding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. It is about 10 minutes after 11 on Thursday, the 7th of March. And a reminder that this is a business that will take you out in a body bag if you are not disciplined and do not protect your capital. All right, I've switched to another monitor, and I'm just trying to show you how you can set up a couple of different monitors and contain various information and the things that you really want to see. And scan your setups. I'm not one to have 14 monitors. Some guys pride themselves with so many monitors, but I've got two eyes, and I can look at two monitors, and then this obviously my laptop that I'm running this from. So on this one, I've brought over one or two charts I wanted to show, but I wanted to show the other ones too. We have suggested that if you are long side, we don't have to abort the downside or the upside today and limit our thoughts. We know we can get crazy bounces out of nowhere sometimes, but the trend is down, and we suggested make sure you are paid by 52s to 54s right now. And part of it is because of moving averages. Doesn't mean we have to take out the low. I think we're in a consolidation phase right now. And those of you trying to fight the trend, that's so much harder when you get a solid trend down day or two. So be conservative. And if you get your 5 or 6 points against the grain, you've done well, really. And if you get a 10, my goodness, that's unheard of early in the day. So we're going to pay attention for whack-a-mole to see if we start to make higher highs, higher lows, and we could still roll over as averages start to catch up with us. So advice has been realistically to try to go along with the flow and then think about it as range trading consolidation now, because we've had such a big down day already. So before you get a sharp bounce back or even a reasonable bounce back, you really need some time for setups or a news event. I'll bring a couple of these into view. And again, this is using the March contract. We'll start on Monday with a rollover, and that's again for my convenience and for continuity, so we can see targets that we've talked about. So I'm just scrolling through these charts for you to show you these ideas, and this chart, again, the picture of power. And we can get some sharp snaps once we, find the true bottom and get slingshot type trades. You take your stop out and then you try again. 10-minute chart on the money today. And 67 to 68 got beat, and that was all she wrote. Here's the NQ. And you can see we finally took out that low that's been hanging tough. Boom, so that's got to be resistance just above that for now. All right, and what is this dialogue here? This dialogue is from that 99 and obviously to today's low. And then now we'll move this back down into our core. So basis this chart, you got to get up above 56. So that's why for now this 55, 56 immediate resistance. And this is the June contract, for those of you who want to take a peek at that one. And you can see how that 42 to 47, that 5-point spread is basically playing out with this contract. There's that 62 resistance right here. Longs have to get it back up above there and then hold pullbacks and keep trying to jack it. And the irony is, when you get a sharp fast down with very little auction, once you settle out and once you get a some kind of a setup where it stabilizes and then you start the whack-a-mole, then we could re-auction any of this bar, as we did here. This one got halfway back up and rolled over. Big week for the shorts. Best they've had in a long time. And again, back to our base chart. So that's a pretty good look at some of the other charts that I look at. And I've got others, but these are the primary ones that I take a look at. And in a trend down type of day, you take stop outs and you try one more time. That's the way we play a trend, and we're paying attention to resistance lately because we said we think the corrective move has started. So we want to know where the supports are, but we're really paying attention to the resistance to know where, hopefully, to re-enter, just like this morning. Paid for sure by 75. We think 76 perfect target. Let's use 78 to 82 as our resistance. Means you got 3 or 4 points of risk if you take that trade, and then you obviously get lucky if you take out the low and then look for next support. I don't have all the answers, but I've got a couple for you. And we're going to miss trades. We're going to leave chips on the table. We're going to make mistakes, as we all do. We go sidelines. We think clearly. And then we see if there's something to do. And if not, we do nothing. And we try to get our VIG, which every day we want to get 4 to 5 points per contract. The red line here is trying to exert its influence right now. And we said be paid for sure by the 52s if you were long, because this looks like it's a consolidation range. And this is our angels and demons. We're going to look for divergences later today also. New lows that have either a stopping volume or just lower lows in here. Consolidation. And this is where Clint Eastwood gets to say, well, are you feeling lucky, punk? Well, are you? Probably going to get some consolidation. We've got the end of morning session, the primary. We may have a new low come before lunch, and then lunchtime, as Zeke said, may be the best time for the contra. See, we're overdone, but we can get more overdone, obviously. We can see the range that we're in clearly. Poked its head up here, but couldn't stay there. So we're trying to resolve this box. And all of our targets for today have been hit. It doesn't mean you can't borrow some territory from tomorrow. But just to put it into perspective, all of our targets have been hit for today. And we've suggested you've got to be paid by the 54s to 55s based on this chart. And this is the RTH, and we said same thing. 54s to 55s, you've got to be paid before that, because that's the middle. So clear with these charts. And you look for confluence where a couple of charts agree, and it gives us an edge. You can see the consolidation phase right now. Drop, second drop, got the target 43.75 gap fill, bounce profit taking, and still not out of dodge. We set this guy up too. Support lows down here. 32.75. A calculated target. And then, of course, obviously the goal of the boys, if they get it down here the next few days, will be to take these lows out and come back here. And then we in the 20s, you got to be careful. This is an 80-point swing already, right? Just about an 80-point swing. And this is that territory we talked about earlier. We said it can go any place here. Middle of this bar first, then you look for the lows. And obviously there's not a lot of support. This was a fast up day. And this is a nice rhythm, because February, I said, I don't think we're going to get a sell in February. We did last year. I said, I don't think we will this year. Just law of alternation. And now March comes in and we get the sell. It's catching everybody saying, yeah, we're going up, up, up. So very important support down here. Paying attention to this. We've had a good morning. Don't overtrade right now. We'll find one more trade probably today before we're done. But even if you don't, and you got part of this move down, you should have your VIG already. And wrapping up this idea today, reminder, this is last month's middle right in here. So a big boy may decide that, okay, we've gone far enough. Let's back it up a bit. Better odds going the other way. So my suggestion, make sure you are paid. Look for another bounce, perhaps. You may miss a trade. Conservative approach is say, who cares if I miss? But if I get it, old timers used to say, let it come to you. Like this morning, let it come to you. Bam. And you take the trend trade. That's what they meant by that. Just like this. Bleeding back, boom. Let it come to you. I think we get some consolidation for a bit. Target line down here, eventually. So we're gonna use any bounce that gets certainly into the 60 range, plus or minus that low. That's going to be our immediate resistance on a retest. And you may, if you get stopped out, you take your stop out and try one more time. Don't be stubborn. But this 32.75 shows up as a target, and between the next couple of days, that's what I'm going to be looking for. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So be it. All right, great trading this morning. I hope you had a good one. Zeke, fabulous post as usual. The rest of you guys are learning to chip in. I really appreciate how much help you're giving the room with your insights. Guys that have shared info about volume profile and points of control and whatever. It's really nice to get traders helping each other out and teaching some ideas as to, what works, what doesn't. And especially when old dogs like me try to learn some new tricks. So much appreciated. All right, catch you guys in the Slack room in a little bit.